I'm Kathleen, and welcome to Create with Kathleen. We're all excited about doing crafts for the whole family and having a lot of fun. The projects we'll be creating can be made from items you can find in your own home, or you can find affordable items in your local craft store. So get imaginative and let's get crafting. This project is called a Happy Birthday Pot. What we've done is we've taken a 4-inch clay pot and made a little candy bowl out of it. We've covered it with a hat and filled it with candy. This is a great project to use at birthday parties for kids because they have something they can take home. We start out with a 4-inch clay pot. Make sure that it's clean, has no fingerprints on it, and what I've done already is I've just taken a light color and painted all the way around the bottom part. We have a top lip which we're going to really decorate up, and let me show you how that goes. We're going to put this on its side. We have our white scrap paper here so we don't ruin Mom's tablecloth. And we take a flat brush. This is a number 8 flat brush with nylon bristle. You can buy these anywhere. And we're going to take some red paint to make a nice, bright accent on the top. Now, don't worry if you don't have a brush. You don't have to have a brush to paint. If you have some sponges around the house, you can cut those into squares and you can paint just as easily. Now don't forget you've got a top end of this too, so you want to get the top end of the lip nice and clean. It doesn't have to go inside. You don't have to paint the inside because it'll be filled with candy. You'll have a nice hat on it, so nobody's really going to see it, but that lip will stick out if you don't paint it. Now I recommend 2 coats of this color, and it only takes a few moments for it to dry. Now, if you only have one brush or you only have one sponge, it's very easy if you're using acrylic paints. Just put it in some water, brush it out. This only takes a moment or two. Make sure that you get it all clean. Take your paper towel. Make sure it's a paper towel because if you use a regular towel, you're going to have to be cleaning that for weeks to get the color off of it. Wipe it off. And you can start painting with the other color immediately. So you can see that I've made a little bit of a mess on the underside, so what we're going to do is just take a little bit of that flesh color, and you can see we're already coloring over, so it doesn't take very long for you to make these projects. Now what we want to do is we want to make some eyes. You can see we have some pretty funky eyes there, and what we've done is we've just taken some foam board here, and we're just going to cut out a couple of circles. I recommend 3 circles about the same size, and you don't have to be exact because if it's not exact, what does that make it? It makes it whimsical. So we're not industry here. This is home crafting. So you make 3 circles, and I'll tell you why you make 3 circles. 2 are the eyes, and 1 we're going to cut in half, and that's going to be the eyelid. Now, another thing you have to think about is what kind of face you're going to put on there. And the face is the best part. I've actually created a bunch of faces that I put on the website, createwithkathleen.com, create with a K, createwithkathleen.com. You can check those out anytime you like. So, hopefully you can see these. We're going to take these 2, which look about the same size. And we're going to take this one and a magic marker, and believe it or not, magic marker colors onto the foam very easily. If you don't have magic markers, you can use crayons. If you have kids around the house, you must have crayons or colored pencils. You could even use food coloring if you want. Just make sure you let it dry because it'll get all over your hands. And that's one thing about crafts is you're going to get things on your hands, so you have to be prepared to wash your hands. This is not a big deal. I've already got it on my hands. We're going to take this and cut it in half. There we go. Now we're going to make pupils. How do we make pupils? Take some foam board and a hole punch. Watch this. Done. There we go. There's our pupils. Now another thing we have that we're going to be using is a glue gun. Be very careful. Safety is no accident, so make sure you're very careful. You make sure if you're younger you want to have a parent around so that you don't get burned because you can get hurt with a glue gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue gun and glue the back side of the black ones and put it on the eyes. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect in crafting. All right. We'll take the back ends of our eyelashes, or our eyelids, hot glue those. Oh yeah, that's hot. Oh yeah, that's a hot one. And glue it to the top of the eye. Now that the eyes are done, we're going to glue them right to the pot. It only takes a few minutes for the paint to dry. So look to see what the best part of the front is, and that's where you're going to put your eyes. So a couple of dots here. And again, don't worry if you make a mess with the glue gun, because the glue comes right off. This is one of the best parts of playing with the glue gun. That little hair that was right in the middle of the eyes just rolls right off. Those eyes are ready to go. Now, we need to put a face on this thing. And I think we're going to do a very simple one. I'm going to take a black magic marker. I'm going to make a little nose here. And then a nice big funny smile. And that's your face. Take a look at that. Isn't that great? How fun is that? And not all the faces have to be the same. They can be different. Now, here comes the really hard part. We're going to put this aside for a minute and let that dry. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a hat. And the hat takes a little bit of effort. We have here a compass. This is something that your father uses if he's an architect, or your brother uses if he's in drafting, but you'll see these around. If you don't happen to have one of these, you can just take a plate and put it in the middle of your paper and draw a circle around it. But for these purposes, I'm drawing a circle, and we're going to cut it out. That was it. That's how you make a circle with a compass. It's not too difficult. I'm going to cut these out, fold it in half, and cut along the half. And now what you have is the top part of your hat. Okay, we're going to put one half aside. And this is what we're going to use on this one. Put that to the side. Now we're going to make a tassel. Oh my gosh, we're going to make a tassel. It's easy. I have some old yarn that I had used on a craft, and I didn't want to throw it away. It was just too much to throw away, so I figured, well, I'll save it and something will come up. Just grab some, start wrapping it around your hand, and keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, maybe 10 or 12 times, I've lost count, and cut it off, cut another piece, and just put this through all the layers, and tie it off nice and tight. Don't worry if the little ends fall. We're going to cut those off and make them even anyway. And tie it in a knot. Take your scissors, cut them through, cut them even, and there you go. There's your pom-pom. This is going to fit in the middle of your hat. We made a mess here, didn't we? I like messes, as long as they're clean-upable. All right, now we're going to take some tape. We're just going to tape this in the middle. Just put it in the middle. If you don't know where the middle is, just fold these two together, put a little crease there, and that's the middle, right there. Okay? Put this here, cut off the ends, tape it up. Remember, tape is one of the basic tools, one of the basic items you need for crafting. And then one more piece right at the end so it doesn't sway. All right. Now, I'm going to take these two ends, tape these together, on the outside and one on the inside. Kids are going to love this. They love pulling tape, so they'll be happy to help you. And here's your hat. Now, all you do is stick it in there, pour some candy in, and you have yourself a homemade happy birthday pot. Valentine's Day centerpieces, probably one of the easiest projects we're going to do. What I'd like you to do right now is go to your cupboards and pull out a bunch of things like tumblers and bowls and condiment trays and anything that you can put stuff in or on. You're going to find that you have more than you think. I pulled a few things from my cupboard this morning, and I just want to let you know. I have a carafe here that I use. It's flat topped, so that's pretty important. I have some bowls. I have a little bucket that I use for decoration sometime. Some little condiment bowls. I have these things. I use these as vases every once in a while. Little teeny sauce bowls. These are all wonderful. I also have a pie pan, which is nice and flat. I use that sometimes. And then I have this big cereal bowl. It's great. This is going to come in really handy. Now, most of us have around our house some pillar candles. I happen to have this one because I was thinking Valentine's Day pink. How sweet. This is going to be wonderful. And I pulled out these really big tumblers because they're nice and sturdy, and I figure if I put something on top of it, they're going to stay pretty well in place. Then I found this piece of material that I was going to make something out of, and I cut it kind of square. I cut it big enough so that I could use it, big enough to wrap the tumbler. And I found this really nice ribbon that has little hearts on it that kind of mimic the hearts on the piece of fabric that I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces that I've chosen, a tumbler, which we're going to turn upside down, and I have this little condiment bowl. I'm going to turn that upside down, and we have this big cereal bowl. That's pretty much how it's assembled. There's not a lot to it, and it doesn't take a lot of time, but it's a great centerpiece. So I'm going to take this piece of material that I found. I'm going to wrap my tumbler, make it look as nice as possible. And there's a little piece here. I'm going to just try and fold that under so it doesn't stick out. And there we go. Put that down. I'm going to take this and put it on top to make it nice and sturdy. Then I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to put some glue on the top of this so I can put the bowl on top of it, and the bowl's not going to move, because the last thing you want to happen when you have a centerpiece is to have any movement on the table so the centerpiece goes topple. Put that right there. Nice press down. Nice and sturdy. That's not going anywhere. All right. I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to have to tie it on this side because I can't tie a ribbon backwards. So, grab my scissors here, pull a little length, cut it off, wrap it around. Make sure your hearts are right side up. It'd be embarrassing to get that on the table and see your hearts are upside down. Nice and snugly there, not too tight because you don't want to take the glue off. Make a nice pretty bow here, and do that one more time. Make sure it's really pretty, because this is what your guests are going to see when they come over, or your husband when he comes home, or your children when they get home from school. Whoever's coming over is going to appreciate this, no matter what. Nice. Give a little cut there, a little cut there. Didn't make it all the way through. Turn this around so you can see it. Now, we have our bow already. Make it a little tighter on this side. There we go. There we go. Just so it sticks out a little bit. Now, I have some sand that I have from a previous project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this sand inside the bowl, because I don't want the pillar candle to move around. Don't want it to fall when I light it. So put the pillar candle right inside. You can see it's not going anywhere. It's standing straight up and down. I also have a little bit of potpourri from another project. I don't throw things away. I always keep them because I figure I'm going to use them for something. And I'll just put it in the sand here and dazzle it around a little bit so we have a good spread. You can see a little bit of pink all over the place. And there you have it. Your Valentine centerpiece is done. I hope I've made crafting fun for you. If there's a project that you'd like to see on our show, check out our website, createwithkathleen.com. Send me a suggestion and we could do your craft right on this show. You can also check out the other projects that we've done on our show. That's createwithkathleen.com. Create with a K, createwithkathleen.com. I'm Kathleen, and keep on crafting.